Hey guys, welcome back to the Detour Live. We're 12 stages down. We're over halfway of the Tour de France, and we're looking forward to a massive final period of this tour. It's obviously dished up a lot of surprises so far, but boys, we're at a bit of a crossroad. Our predictions yesterday were absolutely woeful, and today's all about redemption. I'm joined, as always, by four-time national road champion from Australia, Johnny Trevorrow, the voice of cycling, Phil Liggett. Phil, we need a winner today. Is it all going to be about Cav, or are we going to try and throw up a curly?
I'm not sure if any more words left about Cav, because yesterday our whole program was built around him. And after the first 5 kilometers, we never saw him again. In fairness, this is the only the race has worked out. Look, there's a couple of sort of flat stages, and we're going to have to do something because Cav's way too fast, and so I wasn't really surprised in the end that break got away. But they knew that crosswind was there and the tailwind, and they should have been nearer the front, his whole team. But, you know, I'm not sure the team can control the race all the way to the finish. It's like today, 220K. We're going to start talking about Cav again in a minute, I suspect. But the breakaway might go again. It's pretty flat down there.
I don't reckon it'll go today. Seriously, I think Cav
has
already decided.
That, then it will.
I reckon Cav had decided before the start yesterday, I need another day off. It was a really, took a lot out of him to get through inside the time. Did a wonderful job the day before. And so I reckon he just needed another day off. But today, if he wants to break the record, he has to win today, Phil. Otherwise, as you say, if he only wins 34, count back, he'll lose. So he's got to win today and in Paris. This is the only 2 stages he has where he has a chance, today and in Paris. So, no, I don't think they'll close it down today. But there are, definitely chances of big cross wins. So it could be an exciting stage, actually.
Yeah, I just had a text in actually from somebody who's down there, an Aussie. He's riding his bike down there because he lives in France. And he says the winds at the moment, he was down by Carcassonne itself this morning, and he came at 10 o'clock my time, so that was 40 minutes ago or so. And he said that the wind was virtually dropped. It was nil. But he knows the area very well, and he says by the afternoon, it will rise. And in fact, I've seen the forecast, and he's talking of 40-kilometre-an-hour gusts. So it could be a hard race. It could be a fast race. I think the wind will be pretty much favourable.
What can you tell us about the stage winner, Iffy, given that you've got a pretty good track record of the backstory for a lot of the riders in this pro peloton? Niels Pollitt.
Yeah, well, he's I think he's ridden 5 Tours de France. He was Katusha, and then he had 1 year with Israel. And then this year is his first year with Bora. But this is his first Grand Tour win. And it was a bloody good one. I mean, he's, I think he won in Tour of Deutschland, last year. But this is his first big win. But he was very impressive. It was a nice story because he's best mates with Andre Greipel, the gorilla. Yeah, and right. They live just only a couple of kilometres apart. So even before he was pro, he was a training partner of Greipel. And Greipel used to give him his spare gear and all of that. And then once he turned pro, they've kept being training partners. And they were in the break together yesterday. And at one stage, he was starting to get a bit carried away, starting to get aggressive. He said, Greipel grabbed him aside and said, "You're the strongest here. Cool your jets. Just wait. Now, whether he was just getting spat himself and trying to save himself, I'm not sure, but it worked. It worked really well.
Mate, you've impressed me, Johnny. Your knowledge there was fantastic. But are you sure that Cav only has today in Paris and that's it?
Yeah, mate.
Well, the Wheel Wizard disagrees. He says stage 19 is a Cav stage, dead flat, and it's 209 Ks, then Paris. Have you looked at the profiles?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about stage 19. Yeah, you did right. Yeah.
Ooh, the Wheel Wizard.
Got him. Well done, Wheel Wizard. Jeez, that's bumped him up. That has bumped him up.
Sorry, Willie. Yeah. Sorry, Willie. Yeah, there is 2 days. That's right. Yep.
Here's a big chance of that $500 voucher from Let's Go if you catch an Iffy out. Hey, we're joined now by a special guest, Johnny.
Stewie.
Introduction, please.
Well, probably Australia's greatest all-round cyclist. I call him, not that he's that round, but he was an Olympic track champion, and of course, yellow jersey. Wore the green so many times, but not. He actually wore it into Paris one year.
Yes, he was robbed. You were robbed, Stu.
He was robbed. He was robbed. Yeah. Beaten by a bloody bee sting, actually, but we won't go down that. But one of our great songs, and of course, who will ever forget that amazing Paris-Roubaix? So, g'day, Stewie.
G'day, guys. How are you? Good to see you, boys. And g'day, Phil. How are you? All the way from the NBC studios, I see. Wow, aren't we?
Yes, this is it. My little home, Stu. Look at my new television. Came yesterday. Look at the size of that, Stu.
Tell us about the TV, Phil. Finally, they're treating you with a bit of respect.
Oh, I couldn't believe it. And I started commentating, looking at the wrong network. I thought there's no pictures. Then I looked to the right, and there was the race. Phew.
He's been whinging. He's been whinging for the whole 2 weeks of the tour so far, a week and a half. He's been whinging about his little TV. So they've obviously heard him whinging, and they've finally given him a big TV.
Yeah,
but Phil, you and Stewie have a connection for the Olympics because you're both going to be doing stuff with Channel 7.
Yes, we are, and I've just heard that you're going to do some work with Channel 7, Stu. Delighted, mate.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit of fun. First time. So they're organising a bit of a panel on Sunrise, so the morning show. Just kind of chat about pre and post race, anything with two wheels. So track, road, mountain biking, and BMX for the first time. So I'm currently doing know a little bit about obviously those sports, but I'm doing a bit more research now, that's for sure.
BMX is the most amazing race to commentate on, Stu. Just quickly, back in 2012 rather, when we did it in London, I did the BMX. I felt totally out of place. I was giving all the kids in the BMX race approximately 60 years in age, so I felt a bit out of place in the commentary box. But it was fantastic to call it. It's really exciting. And then this poor kid, just approaching the finish, went over the handlebars, over the berms there, landing on his face. And I thought, ouch, because when you get your facts and figures on the riders, you get approximately 10 centimeters on the rider, where he comes from, how old he is, and you get 4 pages on the bone breakages from the doctors' medical commissions over the years. I would never let my kids ride BMX, I'll tell you. But when I was leaving, after that poor kid had fallen, I noticed the doctor coming out of his little office by the track centre, and I knew him because I'd employed him on the Tour of Britain milk race years ago. And they just said, "Hey, how are you?" I said, "What are you doing here?" He said, "Oh, I'm the head doctor for the BMX racing." I said, "Well, how's that kid that crashed?" He said, "He's fine now. We put his nose back on." Absolutely true.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
A little story you can tell on Sunrise, you see, as if you were there.
I'm sure that'll go down a treat while everyone's having a break.
Obvious question.
Have a jam sandwich, why not?
Obvious question, Stewie. How you found the Tour de France so far, mate?
A lot more comfortable from the couch. It's been crazy. I mean, I kind of say the same thing every year, but as soon as the parkour for the tour comes out, it always looks challenging. We know it's going to be a little bit chaotic. We know it's going to be a nervous start. We know the Tour de France is kind of really pushing the boundaries now on TV numbers, and they don't want big, long, flat stages like we used to have back in the day. Because the audience just click off and don't watch the TV. So it just seems that every stage is getting a little bit more and more, I don't want to say ridiculous, but certainly, they're getting their bang for their buck. And, you throw in with there's been a few, obviously, bad weather had a bit to play. They had a pretty rain-soaked first week, which never helps. A lot of fresh supporters on the side of the road that have been waiting a couple of years to get back out there. So I think the mix of excitement from the fans, the bad weather, the road furniture, the tricky conditions, it certainly flipped the Tour de France on its head. But I mean, my God, how good's Pogačar? and how good's Van Aert? I mean, those two names just spring to mind. But seeing Harry Sweeney, get his first podium and his first year professional, the first Tour de France, and you're up the road in a break, and not far off winning a stage. I mean, obviously Ben O'Connor winning a stage. Sure, he's come off a brilliant last year with almost winning the Giro, but these young kids that kind of come into the Tour now, it's just like they've got no fear. They just get out there and have a crack. The racing is just, the rule book's been ripped up and burnt. It hasn't been thrown out the window. It's been completely cremated. I mean, I just, the other day to see Van der Poel up the road in the yellow jersey swapping off, I'm just literally going, what the hell is going on? I honestly don't understand. I'm not sure what messaging is coming back from the team cars, because obviously a lot of that's team managers, but I'm struggling to understand a lot of the team tactics going on.
Yeah,
it's amazing. Two of the things that have really blown me away in this tour, you think you've been following the sport for a long time, you think you understand what riders go through, how they can recover, whatever. The two things that have blown me away was, first, Mathieu van der Poel, in that stage that he won, the way that he attacked to get that bonus at the Bell Lap there, like full on in the red, they catch him, and then minutes later, he does it again. That's not in the rule book. It's not in the rule book. And then with Van Aert, seriously, he runs second in a stage to Cav and finishing quicker. And then the next day, he's riding twice up Mont Ventoux in a way that just at 78 kilos, it just doesn't make sense. And matter of fact, he wasn't much slower than the GC guys, 3 or 4 minutes behind him. So it just blew me away. Those two things I can't compute.
Yeah, no, neither can I. I've seen a few tours, and obviously from the inside, and Phil's seen a lot more from the outside. But I was kind of asking myself, it's always interesting before the tour to, is Van Aert going to go for a sprint? And I guess my cycling DS brain would say, well, no, he shouldn't be wasting energy in the sprints. He shouldn't be going hard in the time trials. They're there to try and win the Tour de France for Pogacar. That would be like an old school, I guess, less risk assessment kind of management plan. And first sprint he's 5th or 6th, and time trial he's 4th or 5th, and then he's millimeters off sprint with Cam, and then he's riding off up Mont Ventoux, and I'm like, okay, I'm kind of struggling to understand what they're doing, but they're doing it and they're winning. So whether or not that's sustainable, we're yet to see. And the fear I have for them is that there are a few riders down. Tony Martin's hit the deck more times than not Steve Bradbury, and they're going to get into this third week where stages 14 to 18 are just ridiculous. Probably 3-4 of the toughest stages I've ever seen. And they're going to be down on numbers with the yellow jersey. So, I hope they've played their cards right.
Hey, Stewie, now that you're race director at Tour Down Under, do you look at the sport a little bit differently now? Like when you see the parcours and things like that, is your brain going, I probably wouldn't have done the course like that? Because we had a couple of days ago with Ventoux, a lot of people saying they should have had a mountaintop finish because obviously it was neutralised with the attack. Do you look at it a little bit differently now?
No, absolutely. I look at it through completely different lenses now. I mean, one part of me, obviously, I feel sorry for the riders more than anything of what they're being put through. I think it's probably a little bit over the top. A good example, and I do, it's a good question. I absolutely look at that and take things away. And look, I know Thierry Gouvenou, who's the race director of the Tour de France. I know Francis. I know the other guys that are in control of the race, and I do question a few of their finishing lines. The one where Caleb and Sagan crashed. I mean, that was Caleb's mistake. But then again, why have a corner 150 meters to go from the finish when you just come down a big boulevard? There's certain pieces of the puzzle where you just take out that bit of risk. And yeah, of course, why wouldn't you finish up the top of Mont Ventoux? I mean, that's just the historical, classical moment. So, I do look at it and think I probably would have changed a few things, but the Tour de France kind of get away with doing whatever they want, whatever they want, and people complain about traffic furniture, and next year they'll probably do a 200-kilometre stage with 6 sections of cobbles around Roubaix. So, and guys just get on with it. So, it's a really fine balance between rider safety, good broadcast, good television, and a great event.
The Wheel Wizard wants to know, never mind the Tour de France, what's the latest on the Tour Down Under?
What?
Yeah, well, there's lots going on. Obviously, with our borders and everything going up and down like a window blind, things have been pretty challenging. But look, we're just still planning in the planning stages. Obviously, the race routes are all locked in. The biggest question, obviously, is international travel and quarantine restrictions. So, I can't really comment much more on that at the moment. We're doing everything we can, that's for sure.
Yeah. Iffy?
Yeah, look, it's interesting to hear your slant on the race, but I've got to say, and I probably said it before, but this year's tour has been the most entertaining that I've seen. Here we are just into the second week, and it has not been one stage where you go, say, oh, it's a bit of a boring stage. Every stage has been just all balls on the line, as they say. It's been fantastic.
Mm. Hey, Phil, in breaking news overnight, obviously Sagan's withdrawn from the race. Has he disrespected the Bora jersey, do you think?
I thought you were going to be friends today, Dan. No, not at all. I think you can see his knee, which he did in the crash there with Caleb, and it went along the road for quite a way, that knee, before it came to halt underneath the body and bike of Caleb Ewan. So I think he did it again in a sprint the day before Ventoux, hit the same knee on the handlebars. We know what it's like when you hit your knee on your handlebars. The pain is excruciating anyway. And when he'd finished the Mont Ventoux stage, his leg just swelled up like a balloon all around the knee area. I've seen it, and it truly is swollen. No, he's just hoping he can get himself back in shape to go to the Olympic Games, but I can't see why he wants to go to the Olympic Games, to be honest, because from what I hear of things, it's not going to suit him in Japan. But anyway, that's his next target, and he's hoping the leg will go down. No, we did hear from him, and we did see his knee. It's all above board, as it were. He was in trouble, for sure.
Well, Eddie Merckx will be giving him a whack around the ear any day now. But I will say one thing about
Eddie Merckx.
I'll say one thing about Peter Sagan. He's not soft. So if he's pulled out, it's pretty serious. And I think I speak very well of Eddie as well. So there you go.
Hey, Stewie, what sort of insight can you give the listeners to how stressful it is when you're trying to win the green jersey at the Tour de France?
I've got to say it's pretty stressful. I guess the yellow jersey, you get to, it's putting it nicely. It's horrible because there's not one stage where you actually just can relax. You can't just chill out and sit down the back, or have a stage where, okay, the brake's gone up the road and I'll just, conserve a bit of energy. You've got to go for the bonus sprints. You've got to go, if there's 10 or 12 or 13 guys away in the breakaway, you've still got to go absolutely 100% at the finish to get those 1 or 2 or 3 points or the remaining points. And even on the final day when everyone's clinking, plastic champagne glasses out the back of the convoy, and when I locked horns with Zabel and I was in green and everyone else is happy to be in Paris and getting ready for the party, we were locking horns going for the final sprints, and for some reason the ASA always put those bonus sprints on the top of a 500-meter hill just to really turn the final screws of whatever juice you've got left in the tank. So I look at, it's hard. Of course, it's hard in a great way. You're leading the points classification. But another example is if you're actually wearing the green jersey, that normally means you're down the bottom end in the time trials. And when you take off and do your time trial and you're an hour behind, you're waiting around in the back of a caravan for the yellow jersey to finish, which might be 2-3 hours later. And you're just sitting there, wishing you were horizontally in bed or having a massage. So it's just all the little things behind the scenes which really don't get spoken about much. It's the media, it's the pressure, and also just the tactics. You're trying to come up with different ways and methods to beat the other guys, to maybe sneak in a little attack on a mountain stage and grab some points. And yeah, it's just relentless. It's a pretty tough gig.
I'm going to tell it. It's perfect time. I'm going to tell the story. I've said it before, but I'm going to go back to the year that Stewie wore the green jersey into Paris. It can't be anything worse than actually wearing it across the final finishing line and then them taking it off your back. But we've got to go back a few days to the final time trial in Metz. And,
did you ask Stewie if he wanted you to tell this? Because you're digging up some skulls.
I'm going to tell the story anyway. And,
all right.
And so I'm following Stewie, and I've got his dad in the car as well, Brian. And Stewie is on a blinder. Funnily, the man he's racing for the green jersey started off in front of him in the time trial. I remember you going past him, Stewie, like you were standing still. You were on a ride. So he's got all the aero helmet and everything. And it was probably about 5K to go, something around that, 6-7K to go maybe. And suddenly we noticed Stewie start to sort of move across the road. Next minute, the helmet comes off, and he'd been bitten by a wasp. And because Stewie has a bit of a reaction to that sort of stuff, it really knocked him out. So he's gone from being top 5 for sure. I said top 3 maybe, but Stewie said top 5 to outside. So all those points he would have got that day, all because of a bloody wasp. And not only that, it affected that much that the next 2 days he was sort of affected from it, couldn't really sprint. So I think without that bloody wasp, it was a done deal. It was your green jersey, mate. But anyway, that's my story.
That is an iffy moment. It is true. I did pass Zabel about 90k an hour on a descent. At about 2-1, or maybe not 2-1. It felt like 2-1. But yeah, the bee. I'll call it a bee. I don't think it was a wasp, but it did hurt. It did screw up my TT, and that's one of the occasions. It was just every now and then I'd have a pretty good time trial, and I thought I'll get a bunch of points here on Zabel. The parkour suited me really well, and next minute, I'm getting bitten in the face. I'm like, yeah, that'll be right. But anyway. Well,
that sounds like an iffy story, and obviously your name's Stewie. Do we start calling you Stiffy?
No, I'm glad you didn't pull up the photo, or is that on the podium with the green jersey with half my face hanging down. So I was trying to get all the photos on my good side.
Harry Sweeney, obviously this young talent that are coming through, Stewie, it must get you excited for races like Tour Down Under, because obviously a lot of this young talent in a normal environment would come back, would race a lot of these Aussie races, and this whole crop must be good for, cycling in Australia as a whole, particularly the attention when it spews into races like Tour Down Under.
Oh, absolutely. It's so exciting for Australian cycling fans to see these kids, and they are kids. To be neo-pros or first or second year professionals and just riding a Grand Tour is a big deal. And yeah, we've got a really good crop coming through. So it's exciting for us as race organisers. It's exciting for the fans who, this year we had 10 on the start line. We've had a few abandons, which again just shows you you don't just line up and get a number and get to Paris. It's bloody hard. But every stage that Miles and those Scottson and those other guys get under their belt is one for the future. And the Tour de France is just it's a massive, challenging beast. And it can be great, and it can bite you really hard. And when it bites, there's nowhere to hide. So just a little bit of sickness, which you've seen through the FDJ team. You only need to be 10% down, or not sleeping well, or a bit of a stomach bug. And the pace at which these guys are racing, there's just nowhere to hide. Even yesterday, averaging 47k an hour for the stage. It's just ridiculous. They just go from the drop of the flag and they don't stop. Whereas, again, a few years ago, you'd at least the breakaway would go, the bunch would slow down, you'd have a bit of time to recover. I had quite a few stages where, you hadn't slept, you've got gastro, you could only basically drink, energy drinks for the entire stage with guys helping you, pushing you along. And, you had moments where, you got to 25 or 50K to go and you rolled in. But the pace these guys are going is just relentless.
Yeah.
Now, Stuart, you're a brilliant tactician. You understand the sport. What would you be doing if you were Whitey to try and get this green jersey off, obviously, Cav, who's super quick in the sprints?
Yeah, no, look, there's only one way to do that, and I think they've already tried it partially, is just to put pressure on Cav. I mean, they're just not going to beat him in the sprint. I think it doesn't, no disrespect to anybody behind Morkov, but, their lead-out train is so phenomenal that basically, Morkov's still finishing in the top 10. I think he was 6th the other day when Cav won. So, when you're getting dropped off 150 metres to go, it's pretty hard to be beaten because the pace is so high. So they've got to come up with a different way to beat him. And the only way to do that is to put pressure on him early on the climbs, get him dropped, and hope that he gets eliminated. To be honest, it's the only way you're going to beat him.
Yeah. How perfect was the timing? As I asked you that question, Whitey was waiting in the background. So what did you think of that answer, Whitey?
Well, it's not the first time that me and Stewie have been on the same page, that's for sure.
I think I wrote those pages for you, didn't I?
Mate, it's true. It's true. Like because all the best sprinters also have gone home as well, and he's got such a good lead out. The only way we can really put pressure on him is in the mountains, and that starts tomorrow, not today. I think today, even when you think about today's stage, it's it's a long stage. It's windy. It's narrow. I think Quickstep would be happy not to ride today because at the end of the day, the guys who are riding today to bring back the breakaway for Cav are the same blokes who are going to have to save him to get through the Pyrenees. So I think they'll be content with another early break and that will go to the line, because at the end of the day, if Cav's in the same situation points-wise going into the Pyrenees and having not wasted any excess energy today with his teammates, then they'll be in a good place.
Yesterday's stage, Whitey, obviously Luka Mezgec was up there bopping around in the break. What were your takeaways from yesterday? Yeah,
look, it's always a tricky one when you get those break. That was a quality breakaway as well. Look at some of the riders in that move, and Luka rode well. He was in a couple of the early moves. I think they started attacking each other about 58 kilometres from the finish. And it's also hard in those breaks when there was two fast, or there was actually more than two. Greipel himself turns. When there's fast guys in a breakaway like that, the stronger guys don't particularly want to take them anywhere. And as it turned out, a group slipped away, and there wasn't too much cohesion in the group behind. And also, Alaphilippe, those guys, no one wants to arrive to the finish with him. And Luka was best of the rest there, but he gave it a good chance. And the Tour de France stage wins don't come to you. You've got to go looking for them. And Luka did a good job.
Yeah, it was a great job. I got into trouble again because when I saw the break go, I sent a message to Jerry. I said, "Mez gets the chocolates." So Jerry stayed up.
So you jinxed it. You jinxed it. You and your bloody early pros. In cycling, don't jinx it, John. It's your fault.
We actually had a very nice.
That's the third time you put the mocker on us, Johnny. This week.
It's the voodoo, the bloody bike exchange voodoo.
Yeah. Please pick someone else in the Pyrenees, Johnny. Please.
We did a very nice interview with Mezgec on the television on NBC. He was really good. His English is very good, and we asked him why he didn't win, and he says, "Well, I didn't get in the right group. I'm sorry." He sort of that four that got away decided the day. But he was very, very affable and really nice to talk to on the TV.
Hey, Phil, you've got work to do, mate. I was just going to say, you've actually got to leave.
I'll be quite busy, but well, we're starting an hour early today because it's so long. So, yeah, we're not far off air time now.
Yeah, and a quick one before you go. Kareka Foundation, kariega.co.za/Peloton. Keep the donations coming in. We're going to do a bit of an update tomorrow, and then if he's going to ring all his mates with deep pockets, and we'll get to that 35 grand target by the end of the Tour de France, mate. No dramas at all.
Now, just before you go, Phil.
Overnight. Thank you for that.
That's great.
Stewie knows all about the wildlife. Stewie's part of the scene anyway. Go on, John.
Now, I've just been in at the Nagambie Brewery and having a Nagambie Dark Ale, which I know is your favourite. But I just want to let you know, so next month we're having an Alan Lang lunch. Now, Alan won't be there, of course, because he's not with us anymore. But we have a lunch to tell Alan Lang stories. Now, Stewie's coming along, but we're going to. I know you can't be with us, but we're going to phone you in and you can join us on the day. How about that, Phil?
Lovely. Just keep me up to form. As long as I'm not on the Olympics or something. Or what date is that?
No.
Okay.
It's the morning after that fundraiser that we've roped you into in August. So it's the next day.
Crikey. Do I know about that fundraiser?
Yeah. Well, you're on the poster. I hope you do.
John, I love how you tie in all your admin efforts. Obviously, Alan Lang's a legend, but you do all your admin on the show live, and people listening to this going, what the hell's going on? And Whitey's sitting there in the car before the start going, mate, you got another question? Like, I've got stuff to do as well. So you finished, John? We can let Phil go?
We can let Phil go.
Perfect. Thanks, Phil.
Well,
absolute pleasure.
See you all, guys, and have a great day. Good luck, Whitey. You sold me a duff steer yesterday. I'm not trusting you anymore. You said it'd be a bunch kick yesterday and a breakaway today. Now it was a breakaway yesterday, so I'm going to go for a bunch kick.
All right. Well, as long as John doesn't bet on Durbo or Chris, we're good to go.
On this score, mate, anything can happen. But I know for one thing, it'll be another great day of racing. It's going to be very hot down in the south today, and the winds might rise up to 40 km/h gusts. So it could be a great day. All the best to all of you. Nice to see you, Stu.
See you, Phil. Good luck.
You too, Phil. Enjoy that new monitor, mate. Yep. Enjoy it. Bye. Phil Liggett, Voice of Cycling. Now, Iffy, have you got any questions for Matt? Because he's obviously busy man. Stuart's obviously busy as well. Keep it flowing.
I'll go to Matt first. He's got a Tour de France stage to work on, mate. I'm just going to sit back and watch it.
What's the plan of attack for the day, mate?
Yeah, pop someone in the break of the day. I think it's going to go pretty quick. I just don't have a feeling that the sprint teams want to control a day of this long, and there's a lot of wounded guys around as well. And I think it's just easier for some of these sprint teams to pop someone in the break themselves than actually chase for 4 or 5 hours. So I think it'd be a real aggressive start, as we've seen every day, and then a group will go, and that'll be it. And then look, it's really, really narrow roads today. They can take us on big roads, but they're certainly avoiding them today. So I think it'll stay pretty nervous in the bunch because there's a lot of crosswind and cross tail towards the finish. So it won't be a comfortable day in the bunch even after the break is gone. But the plan for us is obviously put someone in the move. You've got to be in it to win it, and then just sit tight. And we've got a big weekend planned, so we can't be wasting bullets on everyone. But Chris and Derbs are the type of guys who would be perfect for us to go down the road today.
I've had a comment. Peter Williams got some tactical advice for you, Whitey. He says you need to get 2 riders in the break, cover all tactical options. So why stop at 1?
Well, you just said
I don't cap the breaks at 1. It's easier said than done. But no, if you do have 2 in there, it certainly is an advantage, as we saw there with yesterday with Lotto. If you can get 2, it is the ideal scenario.
Mm-hmm. Anything you want to add, Iffy, before we let Whitey go?
No, thanks, mate. Good luck today, and I won't back any of your blokes, okay?
No, not until we win, Johnny. Not until we win.
All right, mate. Well, Iffy will be on his best behaviour, so should be a great day.
Good luck.
We also the highlight of the day. I think the highlight of today is we're staying in the Kyriad Carcassonne Hotel, so I can't wait for the to get there at the finish. Yeah. After a hard day's work.
My day there.
Yeah.
They are up there with the worst possible hotels in France, which I'm sure those who've travelled around France would know pretty well. Just don't look at Carcassonne's got one of the most beautiful chateaux in the whole of France, which is lit up like a big Christmas tree. And enjoy your Kyriad looking out the window at that.
Yeah.
Make sure you have some fun.
And due to COVID restrictions, it's not even the Heineken and the Kit Kat and the minibar these days. So there's nothing to look forward to at all.
Well, I used to ask you what's on the dinner menu. I can tell you what it is at the Kyriad. It's that watery soup that's sort of brown, and you might find 1 or 2 peas in it. And then it's that chuck steak that they burn the absolute shit out of. It's just like a bit of piece of leather with some of that salad that's all wet and soggy. Other than that, it'd be sweet, mate. Enjoy the pudding.
I'm pretty sure there'll be some radish as well.
Radish, yeah.
There's always a good competition between the Kyriad and the Campanile, but I reckon the Campanile.
The Campanile.
Yeah. Welcome to the Hotel Campanile. It's a lovely place. If you're off your face, anyway.
Oh, he's up and about, JT. It's the brown ale. If you're in the Gambia, try the brown ale at the brewery.
Good stuff.
Oh, Whitey's gone. The blackberry's blown up. So there you go. He just drops the mics now. Hey, Stewie, it's been fantastic having you on the show, mate. The punters have been loving it. We had a comment earlier from someone saying, Simon Knowles, lucky enough to meet Stewie a few years ago in Hobart. Bloody ripper of a bloke. So there you go. Knowles, he's a big fan. And Free Ranger. He says, a really cracking show. It was a brilliant idea to invite Stewie, if I say so myself. It was the Free Ranger that said online yesterday, when are you going to get Stewie on?
No, he didn't. He said, when are you going to get the Frickle on? He said.
That's right.
Okay, yeah. Got a multitude of names. No, look, it's been great. Like you guys said, it's been great to sit back, and I've been doing my best to school holidays. So took the kids away camping for a couple of days and missed a couple of stages. But other than that, I'm back on the couch and watching it, and it's just been amazing the tour. It's probably the first time now with the crowds that I really miss being over there. It's only my second July home for since I was 17 basically. So it's been most of the times over there enjoying the French summer. So sitting here and now seeing the crowds, back on the roads, it really gives you, I guess, a good feeling that the rest of the world is, post-COVID conditions, and it gives us a lot to look forward to. So I can't wait to get back over there and be on the roads in France next year, hopefully.
And prediction for today's stage, mate. We need a winner. We're on a bit of a drought. If he's called Cavendish for 3 stages, and that's about it.
Well, that's tough. Look a little bit. I'm going to say it's a bit bigger than a small group that goes up the road. I think with the conditions like this, so this is probably one of the last occasions for an actual, I guess, a non-climber and a non-sprinter to get up the road. So a lot of the stages after stage 14, you've pretty much got to be almost a mountain climber to get a result. And so for the guys, for the punchy attacking riders, for the kind of medium fast blokes, there's not many occasions left before they hit Paris. So a lot of the directors will be telling their boys, this is it's not the last occasion, but it's one of the last opportunities to get up the road and get in a break. And whenever the directors say that, you're in for a good 1 hour and a half of full gas racing, because a group will go up the road, will have 10 or 15 blokes in it. You'll have one and you'll think, I'll get up there and help out and be the number 2. But unfortunately, you've got 20 guys thinking the same thing behind you, and it kind of just keeps going and going and going. And you need a little bit of a climb to normally snap it. But I saw the category 4 there is not for quite a way into the stage. So, normally you need a good little ramp. But look, I'm not over there with the weather conditions, but Whitey said it's twisty and turny and a bit of crosswind. So it might not take that long to split it up. But I'd predict probably about a 30 rider breakaway. And someone you can pluck from that from that kind of group. Absolutely, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But the guys that you see up the front are the guys that have got form. There's no hiding it. So, what's the big lotto rider? He won a stage a few days ago. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. A big, someone that's a bit like a Pollitt yesterday. They'll get up there and they'll just keep churning through, and then they'll do a one attack and get away with a small group. But I can just see one or two guys breaking away from the bigger group in the end and doing a little bit like what happened yesterday.
Yeah,
but I haven't got a name on me, to be honest.
That's all right, mate. Yeah, you've narrowed it down to 30, and just if you are having a bet, just do the Stuart O'Grady breakaway chook lotto and have a punt. Gamble responsibly. You'll get good odds, 60 to 1.
I'd hate for people to lose money on whatever words come out of my mouth. So it's really difficult to try and pick a winner at the moment. Obviously even Cav, in the early stages, with him being up there, you kind of went, has he got it again? I mean, he's got some really fast blokes around him, and he popped them out. Look, anything's possible in this tour.
That's it, mate. Well, as we said, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show, mate. Really appreciate it, and we'll check in again soon, probably at the end of the tour, and do a bit of a recap. But, thanks again, mate.
No worries.
Thanks, Terry. See you, bye.
Stuart O'Grady, legend of Australian cycling. Now it's the time of the show, Iffy, where we have a quick word from our great mates at Let's Go Motorhomes and Bike Exchange.
We all love an open road, and often they're easier to find during quieter times of the year. In a Let's Go motorhome or camper van, you can road trip in comfort and style any time of the year. When the roads are quiet, you can get where you want quicker and easier without jostling for position. Chances are your destination won't be as busy too, which means you'll enjoy your travelling adventure even more. Plus, if you book a Let's Go motorhome or camper van in the off-season, you pay less, meaning you can travel longer. There's a type of motorhome or camper van for everyone, so you won't have to compromise on what you want. The whole range has the things you need to help create the perfect road trip experience, including heating and cooling, keeping you comfortable on the road all the time. Whether there's 2 or 6 of you, there's a motorhome for everyone. And in a Let's Go motorhome, your journey can be just as fun as the destination you want to reach. The open road is calling. Check out some of our great offers online today and start planning your next road trip. Rain, hail, or shine.
You there, Iffy?
I'm here.
Did the ad roll just pause? I went out for a bathroom break.
Yeah, no, it just that paused, but it was about to go to the
Bike Exchange. My screen froze. Oh, well, I better play the Bike Exchange ad. I went out for a nature break, came back, and it was frozen.
Well, there you go.
All right. Well, here's a word from Bike Exchange. It's still happening. Here we go.
Look at this bike. You think it's just a bike, right? But it's not. It's a bike. 374 people are looking at. This guy, this girl, them, all looking at it. People from here, there, and wherever this is. People that are looking for a bike. Or just a piece of it. Amateurs, semi-amateurs, and pro-amateurs. This guy wants this bike, but with this crank and these bars. This could be the perfect match. But not this one. This girl has a bike to sell, and thousands of people might purchase it. Eyes on Bikes help grow small businesses. His, hers, yours, and the latest data and insights help those businesses keep moving. We are the world's #1 bike marketplace, with over 500,000 products and 900 brands, where buyers and sellers are brought together in a place where a bike is never just a bike. Bike Exchange, where the world buys, sells, learns, and rides.
Thanks again to Let's Go Motorhomes and, of course, Bike Exchange. Now, Iffy, I want to talk to you about something that I saw today. I'm not fully getting the one wood out, but it's starting to piss me off, and that is there was a headline on Cycling News, and it was all about Tadej Pogačar, and it was, he's racing the Vuelta after the Tour de France. Okay, sweet. But it's the insinuation of the last lines that is starting to piss me off. All right, we know he's dominating the tour, and we know every time someone in yellow dominates, they start asking questions. You know, that's part of the sport because it's come out of a really tough era. But they add the last line, as team avoids questions about his dominance. And then when you go read the article, there is nothing new. It was all about some question that was asked on Monday saying, they asked about his performance and that. And they said, well, there's a lot of testing in the race. And he was tested 3 times in the 1 day on Monday. But as a media group, right, the way the sport's covered, do you think that the constant headlines and the clickbaity and the stuff that sort of is constantly putting out this insinuation, because for me as a cycling fan, what pisses me off is people that don't know anything about the sport. You talk to them about the sport, and if they're uneducated, they go, yeah, bloody cycling, yeah, they're all this, and they're still stuck in an era that is 15 years ago. What is your thoughts?
Well, cycling, drugs have been a part of sport for a long, long time. And we know that the darkest side of cycling, back around the 2000, the EPO era, was pretty bad. But there has been no sport that turns itself around like cycling. It's been absolutely staggering. And I think the whole Lance exposure was probably the catalyst to a lot of change. Now you've got youngsters who are racing, who know they're going to be racing clean. And so the sport's changed around. As far as the Pogacar. That's it.
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't even want to go down it because it's a load of bullshit. And I don't want to go into the same path that those stupid. And it really annoys me when it's someone like Cycling News or Cycling Tips who are cycling websites. They're supposed to be promoting it. If there's no story there, just because every time someone's good, do you have to ask that question? No, sorry. So you can ask it about Pogacar. You can ask about Van der Poel. You can ask about Wout van Aert. Yeah. Seriously, every time someone is special, do you have to ask that question? I'm not going down there any further. It's just bullshit.
Yep. That's all I wanted to bring it up for because I'm getting sick of seeing it. And I think there's also a responsibility on the other side. It's stop digging. We get the era of clickbait, but you're right. Done. Move on. Now, Iffy, your Giro Donna report, Marion Vos, absolute goat. She's won her 30th stage at the Giro.
She's the Cav of the women's peloton, isn't she? Yeah. That is amazing. Absolutely amazing. She had a couple of thirds already in this as well. So, second, Elisa Longo Borghini and Van der Breggen third, Demi Vollering fourth, all the big hitters right up there. So overall, Stuart Anna Van der Breggen leading with her team, SD Works dominating. They're second and third. Lizzie Dinan in fourth, and Spratty is still sitting there in 12th place, but she's 8 minutes behind.
8 minutes. Yeah. All right. Well, that wraps another massive show. Thanks again to Stuart O'Grady, Phil Liggett, of course, Matt White. If you want to get involved with the show, as we always say, like, share, subscribe on YouTube /the Detour Podcast. Appreciate all your support, all your comments. It's been fantastic. And, we'll be back again, obviously, tomorrow to recap. Hopefully, are you hoping Cav wins today? It just sounds like he's going to save himself for 19 just to get through the mountains.
I think we'll know when the race starts. If he's in his skin suit, look out for Cav. If he's in just a green shirt and black nicks, no.
I reckon it's full survival now. I think don't cook yourself. 19 and Paris. If you want the record, that's when it's up for grabs. And as Stewie said, back someone out of his 30-man breakaway. Stuart O'Grady took lotto. So all the best.
There we go. Yeah.
All right, guys. See you again tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.